Ja, på YouTube pratar jag lektion. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are on the last lesson on self-portrait drawing using only one pencil. In this tutorial we learn more techniques and more improvements. Before to start, I would like to invite you to subscribe on my channel, and of course don't forget about the bell notification. In this way you will be notified when the video is coming or something new lessons. So let's get into the lesson. As you can see, I just finished with the dark tone on the jumper, but also we have a text on the jumper. We need to respect the shadows to build a gradient, but I will explain everything step by step, how to use and which is the best way to draw professional. Let me show you what we're talking about. As you can see, we have a really dark tone on the text. And I just set the colored picture so I can see better. If I put the black and white picture is darker than this. So we need to respect the shadows on each letter. And as you can see, we have also a gradient. Today, actually, we learn how to draw a gradient text. Stay with me, guys, to see more techniques and more improvements. I'm going to start with 8B because you know already this is a portrait made using only one pencil, which is 8B grade. And before to start, because we need to work very gentle with the letters and of course with the shadows, I'm gonna resharpen this pencil again. I think you know already which is my way to resharpen the pencil. Use as a needle. I'm using nail file. And once I sharpen this pencil on the sharpener, I'm coming now to resharpen again. This time on this sandpaper, or I'm using a nail file. Just the top side of the pencil, I need to be very good sharp. In this way I can use as a needle or as a mechanical pencil. You know already we have mechanical pencil with more size for the leads. For example, I have 0.3 and 0.5 as well. I finished with the sharpening of the pencil. This could help today for the tutorial. Let's start with the first letter. And we have loads of letters here, but today we need to work by dotting. The way of work is by dotting. Why? Because as you can see, I just resharpen the pencil as a needle, sharp as a needle. I'm going with dots, very light dots. This time I need to work very gentle if I want to do the same as reference photo or even better. Of course, as you can see, even if we dotting the drawing, we need to come back for the layering, so we need to repeat the layers. Repeating the layers, we adding also the dark tone or the necessary dark tone. I just paused a little bit this drawing, guys, because I was very busy with the commission. Now I finished that commission and I can carry on to finish this portrait. Not too long now, as you can see, I have to deal only with one side of the hand here. I want to do this by myself, but it's good to know the last lesson how to do a gradient text, which is really easy to do, so if you follow my steps. As you can see, I'm coming for the third layer. Same by dotting, of course following the reference photo. And now when I'm happy with this, I'm coming with blending stump, this time number 1, and I dot over the dots with blending stump as well, so I can design the shadow. If you like, you can use different types of brushes. Make sure they are soft one and a small one. It's recommendable eyeliner if you have. but I prefer blending stump always for shadowing. As you can see, very easy to do if it's a small letter. We go further to start another, and you will see better when we start to do the gradient. Of course, into the E and S we have to draw a shadow, and just quarter side of the S will be shadowed more. In this way we build a gradient. I'm going further for the next letter, which is I, and we do the same by dotting. We add a few layers. As I told you guys, that's a really easy step to do so if you learn by my techniques. As you can see, this portrait won't be long to finish entire piece. I just started the second layer, which is same dot. I'm dotting. Of course, we don't use any pressure. Very gentle, we're using the pencil. That's why we resharp second time. So we can use very gentle the pencil. If you want to learn this lesson how to do full portrait, you will have all the lessons on YouTube channel. Just search from the first video and you will learn everything from the beginning. After I'm happy with the layering, I'm coming to do the outlines for the letters, make the letters more realistic. And again, blending stump with small circles, emotions, and dotting, we're going over the graphite pencil. I still need a little bit darker on this area, so I'm coming one more layer. Very gentle with a 8B pencil. And again, blending stump. As you can see, we can see very well the gradient on the letter and also the shadow. Here, where I came with 3 layers, is very clearly visible darker than the rest of the letter on the top and on the bottom. Depends how dark tone we're looking to draw. In this way we repeat the layers, but we will stay on the same procedure. Remember guys, don't forget to resharp second time the pencil using a nail file. It will be really helpful to draw small and tiny details. It will help a lot. That's my way to draw, and I found this way the best one, to use 8B grade, very sharp, adding the dark tone, very gentle and small parts. As you can see, it's going quite fast. I'm on the M letter now, and by dotting I carry on to fill with the graphite for the first layer. Okay, Mom. I have the first layer, and I'm coming now with blending stump with small circular motions. I'm going over the graphite. As you can see, we're changing the tone of the graphite. I need to also be careful for the highlights. On outside of the outline I have some highlights. In this way I'm going with a blending stump with careful and gentle to don't touch the outlines of the letters. I forgot to mention this, guys, when you work with blending stump, if you do something new on your project and you didn't use it blending stump before, make sure you have very good sharp and clean blending stump. For example, I have loads of steps made already in this project, and I'm using the new ways and new steps to do. For example, the text. I need to have a good clean blending stump. To sharpen the blending stump, I'm using the same nail file. But for the blending stump it's a little bit bigger. So I will show you also for the blending stump. I'm using this black file. You can be found on any pharmacy or any cheap shop. I will show you my way to sharp blending stump. I keep the blending stump like a pencil and I rotate during the process. in this way the paper for the blending stump in the same time with the graphite. It will be cleaned by the nail file. Make sure you bend blending stump. If you bend same as you shade with the pencil, you will give to blending stump a little bit sharp top side, which is good for small and gentle parts, like this. I need darker tone on the letter, so I'm coming to add more layers. I will stay on the dots, emotions, and I carry on with this. As you can see, the tone of the graphite is changing now with this second layer. I'm here, guys, to teaching you my way to work, my tips and techniques for realistic drawing. Also, I have a lot of lessons, but also the important lesson for art supplier introduction. I have full video for you guys if you're a beginner. You can scroll down or search for that video to start to draw if you love to draw. Before to start to draw, you need to know a little bit about the pencils and the suppliers, but not as last time about the papers. I have a full video with this, so search for that video and start to draw now. I'm coming back with blending stump, and I'm staying on circle emotions with very light touching of blending stump on the paper. When you work with blending stump, guys, it's good to know never press with blending stump. It's no reason, because blending stump can be broke very easy and quickly. Blending stump is made by papers, different type of papers, and be gentle with blending stump if you work with. I like already how it look like. I'm going close to the reference photo soon. I think I'm coming with dark tone on the bottom side, because here I'm starting already to do the gradient. I want to thank you to everyone for beautiful comments on TikTok page, Facebook, Instagram, but not the last YouTube channel. Here on my channel, we learn to become professional artists from the beginning, and we learn new tips and techniques. We draw together and we learn together. As you can see, it's going very well. And again with blending stump, this time I'm going more in the middle of the letter, so I can keep the shadow and also the tone darker than the rest of the letters. As you can see, I have outlines highlighted a little bit, which is good. That means I'm going same with the reference photo. Don't forget about the outlines. Make the difference between the tone and the rest of the jumper if you're drawing clothes. From this part, the gradient starting really visible, so I need to do darker E and quartz side of the S. I'm gonna finish with M, with the top side, which is also a dark side here. As you can see, guys, really easy steps and techniques to learn. But before to do this, learn how to use the pencils and suppliers. And you can be helped by art supplier introduction video. I'm going with blending stump with circle emotions. Start to build the shadows. As I told you, we need darker, so I'm coming with more layers. On this side, where is dark tone? But because I'm working gentle, as you can see, I'm going by dotting. Now, for example, if I did 2-3 layers on these letters, to build a gradient I need 4 or 5 layers. I will show you how to do. For example, I need to do this part of the E darker than this. So I'm coming with dots, 4 times layering. Remember, guys, if you work with 8B grade, you can do this process only if you resharp twice your pencil using sandpaper or nail file. Now I'm ready to add blending stump to build the layer and also the shadow. same as M. Where I keep it for the highlights, I need to keep the sharp sides of the E highlighted, so I'm not touching there with blending stump, only very light. As you can see, guys, how useful and easy way can be made with pencil and blending stump if you work gently and if you repeat the layers. Everything is possible. I repeat the layers only where it's dark tone or where it's more dark. And I'm come back for blending stump. This will help me to achieve darker tone the rest of the letter. And also the gradient, as I told you before. Now for the last time we're working on shadows, and we follow the reference photo for shadowing because bent side of the jumper, it will add also the shadows. I'm coming from the dark tone where the jumper is, the material, and I'm adding some graphite inside. First on the top side of E, and again blending stump with small circular motions. As you can see, we build a gradient which is darker than the rest of the letter, which is good. As I told you before, guys, just follow always the reference photo and check for the tone that you're looking for. And if you see darker than necessary, just repeat the layer. Now to make more realistic, I'm coming to add some layers on the line, on the outline of E, and you will see we do the design of bend of the jumper. Very gentle, we're adding the graphite and we mix together, gently building the gradient. It's looking very realistic now, and I have also more tones. I'm coming on the bottom, do the same thing. with small circular motions. I'm coming from dark tone, which is the side of the jumper, and really light I get into the letter. As you can see, in this way we build a gradient. As you can see, guys, we have to deal with more tones, which is light gray, dark gray, and black. And they are made only with 8B grade, only one pencil. We have only one letter to do, and we start to dot, same as I did on. I need to go with this side of S close to the same tone of M, maybe a little bit darker. I will explain now why I'm going by dotting. I want to keep the same texture design from the jumper. This text is like printed on the jumper, and when I keep the same design as it is. Remember, guys, we are on the last lesson, and if you want to learn the techniques and tips for this type of drawing using only one pencil, search from the first video and take any lessons you need. We have more lessons, and if you have time you can learn step by step. As you can see, I'm working gentle even for the outline, even for designing the letter. I'm going straight away to repeat the layers because I see I need darker. It's not reason to coming now with blending stone, just waste a time. I'm checking now if I need darker, and I'm going on all letter. This definitely need to be darker. And of course, repeat the layers with blending stone. I'm going by small circular motions. And I start to mix the graphite, helping to get into the tooth of the paper. If you want to know my paper, it's Canson Bristol paper, A3 size. pure white 250 GSM, but also you can find this paper on art supplier introduction video description, and more other suppliers. I buy everything from Amazon, and the links can be found on the description on that video. For the first layer, I'm going light over the letter to add this first layer of light gray. From now we're starting the miracles, adding the gradient, and I will show you how to do. I need to come in with shadows where the dark tone is. For example, I need to make the jumper make a little bit bent, so I'm coming to add the shadows here, but also I need to add the shadows look like coming from the rest of the jumper. Stay with me to see how to do. Of course, I'm checking the reference photo during the process. This time, when we build a gradient, we need to work more often with blending stump, so I'm coming with blending stump, dotting and going with small circular motions. I build the tone that I need, also the gradient in the same time. As you can see, we have also gradient and bent jumper on that side, but I need darker. In this way, I need to repeat a layer by dotting. When I'm happy with the tone made, I'm coming to smooth the graphite with blending stump. I will add more shadows, making this as looking realistic 3D. Working with shadows, we can add better the design. Of course, we're helping by blending stump. As you can see, we have more tones, and the letter become realistic 3D on the jumper. Same thing we need to do down on the bottom, but not very dark as the top side is. as you can see, guys, if I'm going by dotting this process of the letters, even if I'm blending with blending stump, I still have that design and the shapes, the shadows with dots. So the dots, we're not covering the dots, actually we're keeping the dots even if we blend this. If I'm going with smooth shade like this by circular motions, I will not achieve the same design of the letters, which is no good. I will use the pencil here so I can let the highlighted part in the middle of the letter. In this way I can achieve the gradient. And you will see what I'm coming with blending stump. Starting from the bottom of the letter, I'm going with small circular motions, and I get into the lighter area, but I'm losing the blending stump also. When I'm talking about losing the pencil or blending stump, that means I need to release the pencil or blending stump from my paper. Like this. I'm going lighter till I'm losing the blending stump, yeah? Hopefully you understand, guys. But look at the design. In the middle, it looks like band jumper, which is very important to know. We're working in gradient. This is the gradient. In this way, we're working text gradient on the cloth texture. Thank you very much for your time, guys. I appreciate always your time spent with me. And don't forget, subscribe on my channel if you're new. Click the bell notification, and don't forget, we're here to draw always together. As I told you guys, always we keep an eye on a reference photo. We're checking for the tones, for the design, shapes, but not last time for the details. I like to work very realistic, and that's why I spend more time than necessary each side of the portrait. Remember, guys, this is the last lesson. And from my previous lessons, you know already the last touch of the portrait, how to do so. We're coming to work with jelly pen, which is my favorite to do metal things or shiny parts. Nick. Nu mă uită la spate? Nu, mama. Nu mi-e treabă ce faci. Îmi place că stai și tu live, nu stai live. Also, I have full video on the commission I made before. Same as I did this letter, I need to come in with a line of the jumper to do the same, because it's the same texture and the same tones. Take care, guys, have a good night, and thank you very much for clicking the thumbnail to see my videos. I appreciate your time, and if you want to learn more, stay with me on YouTube channel when I'm live. Take care, guys, bye bye. M-am uitat în spate tu. M-am uitat cum m-am deșuptat.